The moment my mom saw my bank balance, everything changed. 1 second she was asking me to transfer money for groceries, and the next, she was staring at my screen like she'd just discovered a secret treasure. That night, she told me something that made my stomach drop. She said since I lived under her roof, half my savings belonged to the family. $2,000. Just like that. And when I refused, she called me selfish. Ungrateful. Said I wasn't acting like a daughter anymore. But what hurt the most was realizing she didn't want my help. She wanted my money. And what happened next completely changed how I see my family forever. I still remember the exact moment everything shifted between me and my mom. It was such a small moment, something completely ordinary. Or at least I thought it was. She asked me to log into my banking app so I could transfer money for groceries because her card wasn't working. I didn't think twice. I trusted her. Why wouldn't I? She's my mom. I opened the app and typed in my password while standing in the kitchen. The smell of fried onions filled the air, and the TV was playing quietly in the background. Everything felt normal. Until she saw the number. $4,000. I noticed the silence first. You know that strange silence when someone stops talking mid-thought? I looked up and she was staring directly at my phone screen. Her eyes locked on the balance. She didn't say anything. Just nodded slowly and walked away. At the time, I thought nothing of it. But that night, everything changed. She came into my room around 10 p.m. No knock. Just opened the door. That alone felt strange. She stood there with her arms folded. Serious. Cold. Different. We need to talk. Those words instantly made my chest tighten. I sat up in bed. She walked in slowly and closed the door behind her. Then she said something I wasn't expecting at all. I saw how much money you have saved. My stomach dropped. I felt exposed. Like my privacy had been ripped open. I nodded quietly. She sat down on the edge of the chair across from me. Then she said it. You should be helping the family more. I blinked. I do help. I pay for my own school supplies. My phone bill. Gas. Sometimes groceries. I barely spend money on myself. No expensive clothes. No parties. No trips. Every dollar came from working part-time since I was 16. Late shifts. Weekends. Missed hangouts. Missed sleep. Every dollar meant something. But she shook her head. No. Not enough. Then she said the number. $2,000. Half my savings. Just like that. Like she was asking to borrow a pen. My throat went dry. I tried to stay calm. I don't feel comfortable giving that much. Her expression hardened instantly. You can earn it back. Like that made it easier. Like it didn't matter. But to me, that money wasn't just numbers. It was security. Freedom. A way out if things ever went wrong. A chance to move out someday. Emergency money. Safety. I tried explaining that. But she interrupted me. If you're living here, you should contribute. I already did. But suddenly it didn't matter. Then came the words that stuck in my head for days. You're being selfish. Selfish. For saving my own money. Then she said something worse. You're acting like a tenant instead of a daughter. That one hit deep. Because the truth was, I already felt like a tenant. I stayed quiet. And she walked out, leaving the door half open. The next few days felt tense. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Like walking through a room filled with invisible wires you don't want to trip over. She barely spoke to me. Short answers. Cold tone. No smiles. Then the relatives got involved, which somehow made everything worse. Apparently she had told them. Suddenly I started getting messages. You should help your mother. Family comes first. Money isn't everything. One aunt even said, she sacrificed everything for you. That sentence made me feel guilty. Even though part of me knew this wasn't right. Because something kept bothering me. If she really needed help, why only ask after seeing my savings? Why that exact number? 2,000. Half. Not a random amount. Not a small contribution. Half. I started feeling anxious in my own home. Like my money wasn't safe. Like my boundaries didn't exist. I even started checking my banking app more often. Just in case. Which sounds paranoid. But once trust cracks, everything feels uncertain. I barely slept that week. My mind kept replaying the conversation. Over and over. Selfish. Ungrateful. Tenant. Daughter. The words echoed in my head. Until one night. I made a decision. I opened my banking app again. Looked at the balance. $4,000. 3 years of work. Then I opened a new account. A private one. At a different bank. And the next day, I transferred almost all of it. Left only a small amount in the original account. Just enough to look normal. It felt strange. But also relieving. Like locking a door that should have always been locked. For the first time in days, I slept peacefully. A few days later, she asked again. More directly this time. So have you thought about helping the family? My heart started beating faster. But I stayed calm. I can help with groceries sometimes. She frowned. I meant the savings. Then she said something that confirmed everything. I know you have 4,000. Not had. Have. Like she assumed it was still there. I looked at her and said quietly. Not anymore. Her face changed instantly. What do you mean? I moved most of it. Silence. Then came the anger. Why would you do that? And that's when I finally said what I'd been holding in for weeks. Because I need to protect my future. She looked shocked. Offended. Like I had betrayed her. But for the first time, I didn't feel guilty. I felt steady. Certain. Grounded. She called me dramatic. Said I didn't trust her. And maybe that part was true. Because trust isn't supposed to feel like pressure. Or guilt. Or demands. Trust is supposed to feel safe. And this didn't. The relatives eventually stopped bringing it up. The tension slowly faded. But something between us never fully went back to normal. Because once someone shows you how they see your boundaries, you can't unsee it. The real turning point wasn't the argument. It wasn't the money. It was the moment I realized something important. Saving money didn't make me selfish. It made me responsible. Protecting myself didn't make me ungrateful. It made me prepared. And for the first time in my life, I felt like I was standing on my own feet. Even while still living under her roof. And strangely, that felt like freedom. Sometimes the hardest part of growing up is realizing that setting boundaries with family doesn't make you a bad person. Sometimes it just means you're finally protecting yourself. If this story made you think, let me know in the comments. Was she wrong to refuse the money, or should family always come first? And if you enjoy real-life stories like this, subscribe to Story X Daily for more powerful stories every single week.